99% of the world's freshwater ice. They cover the whole of Antarctica and most of Greenland. The ice sheet in Antarctica measures approximately 5.4 million square miles, and the one in Greenland measures 650,000 square miles. During the last ice age, which was more than 8,000 years ago, these ice sheets would have covered much of North America and Scandinavia. The ice sheets were formed in a place where snow falls in the winter but doesn't entirely melt in the summer. Over thousands of years, layers of snow pile up into thick masses of ice. The older layers of ice get compressed by the weight of the newer layers of ice. Ice sheets are constantly moving slowly downhill under their own weight. Ice sheets carry enormous amounts of frozen water. If the ice caps did melt in Greenland, then the sea levels would rise by 6 metres, which is 20 foot. This diagram shows how much of the ice in Greenland has melted between 1992 and 2002. If the ice caps were to melt in the Antarctic, then the sea levels would rise by 70 metres, which is 200 foot. This would mean that some of the most powerful economic cities in the world would be flooded. This diagram shows how much ice has melted in Antarctica between September 1979 and September 2007. It is thought that by the end of the century, the sea levels in the UK will have risen by 4 centimetres. This would lead to further coastal erosion. There will be an increase of local flooding and more flash floods around the country. Over 1 million people in Bangladesh have been displaced due to rising rivers. If no action is taken, then it is thought that 13 million more people will have to move homes in the near future. There are vital rice crops in Bangladesh that would be lost if there was only 1 more metre of flooding. The emperor penguin is the biggest of all 17 penguin species. It stands 3 to 4 feet tall and can weigh as much as 100 pounds, which is 45 kilograms. It is the only animal to inhabit the open ice of Antarctica in the winter, where they face temperatures as cold as -60 degrees Celsius. In the winter, they all huddle together to keep warm and take it in turns to face the cold, blustering wind on the outside. There are many ways in which they have adapted so that they can survive in these cold temperatures. They have 4 layers of scale-like feathers to protect them from the icy winds and act as a waterproof coat against snow. They can store large amounts of fat in their body, which insulates as well as being a long-lasting energy source. They have small bills and flippers, which helps them to conserve heat. If the ice caps keep melting at the rate that they are, it is thought that the breeding pairs will fall by 80% by the year 2100. Unlike other seabirds, emperor penguins breed and raise their young on sea ice. This means that if the sea ice does melt, they will have nowhere to look after their young. This diagram shows how the whole ecosystem could be affected if the small animals like plankton, small fish and squid became extinct. As you can see, it won't just be the emperor penguins that will be affected. Other species of penguin, seal and whales will also be at risk of extinction. One of the main solutions to global warming would be to cut down on our CO2 emissions. There are many ways in which this can be done. Here are a few. We can make more cars that run cleaner and burn less gas, generate all electricity using wind, sun and other eco-friendly ways, modernise power plants so that they let less pollution into the atmosphere, and create whole buildings that use less power.